Joining me now is security expert Salihu Dantata Mahmud, Comrade Salihu Dantata. So good to have you on Newsnight.
Good evening.
Let's start from the latter part of that report by Ferdinand Roha, where he noted that there was that directive by the Minister of State Defense that security apparatus should relocate to Sokoto, to the northwest, to hold down that area against the terrorists. That relocation doesn't seem to have happened. I mean, we saw Matawale go to Sokoto and then back. I mean, let's get your thoughts on that first.
Absolutely. I think that relocation was just done in theoretical way, not practical way, in the sense that they just went there, visited the 8th Division in Sokoto, parleyed with the General Officer Commanding to demonstrate to the Commander-in-Chief, who was at that time in China, attending African-Asian Summit.
Right.
And I think this itself, if we are to say, is insubordination, because these are people that are paid with taxpayers' money to safeguard lives and property, even though we know that internal security is the purview of the Nigerian police. Because if you must find the largest specialized courts, they lies with the Nigerian police. So all these roles the Land Army, Navy, Air Force are playing is just complementing the efforts of the Nigerian police. Right. This brings us to the issue of why can't the Nigerian police be restructured for efficiency? When we are growing up, particularly during Shagari administration, the police mobile force were very strong. Where Shagari as a pure civilian,
and they were fed, and they
very
were
fair, procured armor personnel carriers and other equipment as well as weapons for the police mobile force. But when General Buhari took over in '84, he was seeing them as an affront, and they had to seize most of this procured equipment and weapons for the police mobile force. From there, we start getting it wrong in the police force that are custodians of internal security. For example, if you go to force headquarters, there is what you call complaint response unit. One day I disguised and I was there. From every division in Nigeria, for people that felt offended or shortchanged by serving police officers, they were calling, and there were officers designated receiving those calls. That is to tell you, if the police are better equipped, they can live up to expectation.
So what you're saying is, if we go back to that model where the police was at the forefront of ensuring internal security, then we can begin to win the war against terrorism.
Absolutely. These are non-state players, non-state actors, bandits, insurgents. These are police officers that were trained either in police colleges, training schools, or academy in Wudil as either cadet inspectors, ASPs, and this time around they have become like Nigerian Defense Academy, that they trained for 5 years full-fledged before doing passing out parade, before being pipped as unconfirmed ASPs. And in the police force, we have the police mobile force, counter-terrorism unit, we have special forces that wears overall, we have the marine police. The marine police can be equipped with yachts that they can be patrolling maritime waters. Then the mobile police force can be combing the bushes. Then the counter-terrorism unit, who wear the red beret, can also be assisting to that effect. Then as well as the special forces who are trained to fight insurgency as well. Then the intelligence arm of the police. Then to an extension, they can collaborate with the Army and Air Force. Look at the past Buhari administration. There was cooperation and synergy between the Nigerian Air Force and the Army, even though there were skeletal infight between the Chief of Army Staff and Air Staff. But this time around that the cooperation is there. In that Zamfara, Sokoto and Katsina, that coordination between the Nigerian Air Force Air Component Group as well as the artillery, infantry, and armor corps of the Nigerian Army is not there.
There is so much to take in. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time to break down, some of these points that you've made. Let's talk about the reappraisal by the CDS. He's saying to the people of Sokoto, and I guess, of course, to the residents in the whole of the Northwest, don't cooperate with kidnappers. Don't worry about this levy that they fine you. Do not, if you pay, it means you're cooperating with them. How do you tell these people who are at the receiving end of terrorist activities, not to pay levies if that will, keep them safe and protect their families?
Mamman Shata, a Hausa musician, used to say, "Gagarbada," when something is above you. Then legendary Fuji creator, secure and de barrister of Blazer Memory used to say in one of his records, the truth, that Oyembo Iluwa Koju, that we understand English more than British Parliament. That is what the CDS is trying to say. Let's even take example from FCT here, where you had one family gotten kidnapped in Buari.
Yeah.
That the failure of the father to be able to pay the ransom got the life of the eldest who was in final years in one of the universities lost. Yeah. So let's take it from there. If they don't resort to self-help before the government reinforce and come, it is too late. Look at the shameful thing with 8 divisions in Sokoto. What is the proximity between Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina and others? Failure. Then look at all the sighting of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Jaji, NDA in Kaduna, Air Force Training Ground in Kaduna, one mechanized division in Kaduna.
And yet,
even at that, so if you are now asking those locals in Kankara, Zurumi, Sahe, Talata Mahara, Sabon Binni, Isa, Kainji, Kayama, Gure in Kwara North. Because
is it not giving oxygen to the terrorists if they continue to pay? Is it not strengthening these terrorists even more?
If you are not paying to them, then you are losing your families. That is it. We've had the example. That's why I gave you a fair example of that. Let me give you an example now. Most of these bandits also have their camps in abandoned wildlife forest of Kanji in Niger State, Wawa in Niger State, Agwara in Niger State, Kayama in Kwara North, Kosobosu, Gure and the border areas. Of recent, a renowned professor who is emir of Ilesha in Barute local government of Kwara State, Kwara North, he did tell visiting commanding officer of Sobi Barracks that if the army and the other security agents can no longer protect us, then we come out ourselves because we cannot. Well,
people are doing that in Zamfara State already. They went into the forest.
So I think the government also is not trying to take people by what they are facing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Comrade Salihu Dantata, Director of Security 3-in-1 Salute Nigeria Initiative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your brilliant contribution.